So this is your opportunity now to ask some questions. Does anyone have a question they'd like to direct to any of our very wise speakers? Yes, over here. Do we have a microphone? Here we go. Oh yes, you'll need one too, won't you? I think we have got another microphone for the speakers. Over here. For the speakers? Lovely.
I just want to thank all the speakers. I've been talking about how your religion, the common theme about how all the religions seem to be the same. I've just found so much common with my religion with yours. But I'd like to focus a question on Mr. Heppel, thank you. He was talking about nomenclature, about the need for love, how he was talking about tolerance and acceptance doesn't necessarily mean respect. I've had, some people who know my story know that I've had some pretty bad experiences in the past. And I think most of those people who have given me the hardship genuinely believed that they were achieving peace by harassing those who were different, and they were believing that they were making the change to make the world a better place. So as much as the nomenclatures you was talking about was quite valid, I certainly accept that, there are also some people who will see the word tolerance and acceptance and peace from their very myopic point of view. And I was wondering if you had some view on that one.
Can you hear me? Coming through? Yes, well, I understand your problem. I think there's I don't know how we can... nobody said it was going to be easy. There's no easy end. We've been around here for thousands and thousands of years and nobody's created peace yet. So it's not going to be easy. And I don't know how you prevent people from having misguided ideas about how they're going to create peace. Whoever instilled them with those ideas, assuming they are instilled, and they often are, I think, has done a great disservice to you and also to the person who gave you that disservice. But how you stop the promulgation of bad ideas, I don't know. All I can say is that we've just got to keep trying.
Oh, question over here.
Thank you, speakers. I noticed Frank especially, and maybe several other people have indicated that it's not easy. But if everyone was to change that idea so that we could start off with a new idea like it will be easy or it is going to be easy, then that's what you will create. This is an idea and a suggestion.
The problem is not with religion. The problem is with their leaders of the religion. Religions have been hijacked by their religious leaders, for their political purpose of conquering other countries, purpose of political or self-promotion, also different reasons. Religions have been hijacked by these ruthless people for their own use. If you look at this at back, all that's written by each religion, I can't find any one of these at fault. But if you listen to their preachers or their leaders, I think they are very much different. They have different things to say than what they're saying in their book. All the religious teachers, our gurus, Jesus, Muhammad, they didn't preach hate. But the ones who are now the leaders of the religions of different factions, either they formed subsects, they've taken the teaching out of context, misinterpreted intentionally, taken out of context for their own use. And that's where the problem starts. So if I think the religious leaders are the ones who can change, and all pressure put on them, politicians, they use religion openly. and they are the people who can change, and we as the general population should put pressure on their leader to change their views and stop this spread of hatred for their political views. Thank you. You know that the Persian music, Persian poetry, Persian literature, Persian rose, even tulip is Persian. Wine has been invented. You have drank Shiraz wine. It comes from Shiraz. So I recite a poem to you. It said, من اگر نیکم اگر بد تو برو خود را باش که گناه دیگری بر تو نخواهم نوشت. Did you understand? Good. Says, if I am good or I am bad, you go and mind yourself. They don't write the action or sins of others on your book. It's very easy to blame others. As I said, we break the thing and go and say, my sister broke it. If we are expecting the priest to do something, the politician do something, the president do something, the king do something, it's a little difficult. Let us change ourselves. Have you ever been Boy Scouts or Girl Guides? One good act of good a day. Try that, my darlings. Try that, my dears. You will enjoy it. That's the first medicine. But my learned friend is right. We should expect others. But start it from here, from yourself. Let me do something with me. You don't do anything for me. You can't harm me, and you can't help me.
Oh, another question over here. Lovely.
Hello. Thank you very much indeed for coming. I'm getting echo there, so I might be a bit funny. Thank you very much for all that you said. I want to ask a question that comes out of my own experience as a Uniting Church minister, particularly out of an experience that I had just over 12 months ago when I went to the Uniting Church National Assembly that was held in Adelaide. Now, I listen and I struggle within myself as a minister, as a preacher, to talk about love, to talk about peace, and I believe in them wholeheartedly, but they are difficult words to put into practice. I actually end up saying to my congregation over and over again, we spend our whole life learning how to love, and we're not very good at it. We talk about ideas. Now, when it comes to bad or good ideas, how do you distinguish them? At the time, you know, you look back historically and you'll often see that an idea that was thought to be a very good idea at the time can, in hindsight, be, by the next generation, be regarded as quite a bad idea. Now, I just want to give you an example that I would love to hear your comments on that came out of our discussion at the Uniting Church Assembly, and that was to do with the discussion in society as a whole, to do with same-sex marriage. Now, I know that that's a pretty divisive subject, but that's exactly the reason that I'm raising it, because it's when it comes to issues like that where you've got people who hold pretty strong beliefs about ethical or correct behaviour and how to love. You know, and I there were various groups at this assembly. We have our Congress of Indigenous people, and they had a particular perspective on this issue. We had people, of course, from the gay and lesbian community, and they had a particular perspective on this issue. And then we had one person who got up on the floor, and all these opinions were being expressed on the floor from the floor of our assembly. And one person got up, and I was deeply moved by what he said, because he said, Here I'm listening to two different groups within our society that are both vulnerable, that are both in many ways disadvantaged, and they're coming to different points of view, or they have come to different points of view about how to love and how to love the other, how to respect the other. How do we, as the rest of us within the church, respect and honour and love these two very different groups, even though they have very different viewpoints about the way the whole of our society should legislate and should act, and so on.
That's an awesome question. Who wants to take it on first?
I am going to disappoint you. First of all, who am I to accept you or not accept you? To agree with you or not to agree with you? Once a young and beautiful lady, she was a psychologist, asked me, what shall I do? I said, my darling, go and do anything you want to do. Do everything, on one condition. Every night, before going to bed, stand naked in front of your mirror. When I said naked, I meant don't hide anything. And see the person in the mirror. Does agree with what you did today or not? We are the best escape, the best measure, the best judge for ourselves. We can't change other people. It's very difficult. As soon as you want to debate with me, I go. I want to be the best person, I want to be the most knowledgeable person, I want to be there. But the best way is to find your way into my heart. Believe me, as muhabbat سنج ها آون شود از محبت خارها گل می شود. This time I'm not going to translate it. Go and learn Persian. So please have a look at, we have got 2 brochures down here, and we have got also a blog or Facebook. The Sheikh here, she does know these things. We have something said about this on those papers. Please love each other. Please not tolerate each other, but believe that you and I are like 2 drops of water in 2 buckets. Let me drop down and be one. That's it. Nothing else. And said that from love, the thorns become flower, and from love, mountains become dust.
The question of homosexuality, I think, goes back a long way, and in our society here today, which is largely Christian, and a lot of what I say applies also to Islam, Judaism, Christianity together, the Abrahamic religions. They came out of the desert, so to speak, and propagation and fertility were of prime importance to the societies of those times. And so anything that mitigated against propagation was seen as bad. And so homosexuality, because it obviously wasn't going to reproduce anything, got a bad name and was given a bad name in those religions. And I think where today things have changed entirely. Propagation isn't a problem. In fact, it may become the reverse of that. Look at China, where they had a one-child policy. So you would say that in Chinese society that homosexuality would not be expected to be a problem. I don't know about Chinese society, but so I don't know how they regard it. But I think we're still living in the shadow of a philosophy or a worldview that applied to those times, which no longer applies to this time. And in addition to that, we're much more knowledgeable today. We know today that homosexuality is not a matter of choice. So you don't get out of bed one morning and say, "Oh, I think I'll be a homosexual." It's just not like that. But homosexuality is something that belongs deep inside that person. It's something that they can't change. They seem to have been born with it. And so if you're going to condemn somebody for being born with homosexuality, then why not chop off the left hand of somebody who's born left-handed, for instance, or why not do all sorts of dreadful things? So, to my mind, that doesn't come to it. And I think, what has it got to do with the church anyway? Should the church butt out of it and look after, spend more time looking after the poor and correcting other social malaises? That's if you see homosexuality as a malaise, but I don't see it as a malaise. It's something which is natural to the particular person, and I don't see anything wrong with love between two women or two men. That's okay. Why should we get involved? Why shouldn't we just butt out of their lives and just accept them as they are? So that's my contribution.
I think I agree with all the comments you said. Unfortunately, I'm not really a deep philosopher of Sikh religion, and I haven't read the 1,400 pages in full to have any Sikh prospects of homosexuality. But generally, Sikhs, they believe in yourself. If you think you're doing the right thing, go ahead and do it. And that's generally our attitude. I don't think it's banned, but it's not accepted openly either. So, very difficult for me to give any definitive answer from a Sikh religious point of view. My personal views are in full agreement with Dr. Happel. Is it? Yep.
我讲几句话啊，我们是以佛教的观点，那佛教讲这个爱呢，它是一个平等的，就刚教授讲的是一种包容，平等的包容啊，照顾一切人而不是说只是爱一个人或两个人或是一个家庭而已，它是一个平等的那么像我这边举一个例子就是在美国有一个南方的一个年轻人，那么这个年轻人他有很深的种族的偏见他很这个分别白人跟黑人很严重的分别那么后来他到北方去工作，到了北方工作以后这个问题给他很困扰，因为北方提倡黑白要平等那结果有一次呢，他在北方工作上班呢，出了车祸。出了车祸以后他的眼睛就瞎了。瞎了以后呢，那么他呢，这个慢慢的有人照顾他，那么还去学这个点字然后这当中有一个辅导员对他非常照顾很爱护他，很帮助他那么这个辅导员呢在跟他交往的时候，他跟这个辅导员讲，他说他现在一个很大的困扰，就是因为他的眼睛瞎了，他没有办法辨别谁是白人，什么是黑人所以这是他最大的困扰最后这个辅导员跟他变成非常好的 良师益友这个真的是非常好的朋友。最后这个辅导员告诉他，他说我是黑人，所以后来他把这个偏见，这种对肤色的偏见，慢慢他打破了。所以他说，因为我没有了眼睛，但却使我对这个种族的偏见也没有了最主要的是什么呢？就是说我们不要只是用我们眼睛去看，去决定一切事情，而是要用心眼去看所以刚刚讲到，我们讲爱，在佛法里面讲，它叫慈悲虽然它都是一种爱护众生，可是这个慈悲是一种平等的，是广大的爱。像我们只是爱一个人不爱其他的人，这种不平等的这种爱，这个呢，在我们一般说呢是小爱我们现在讲的爱，真正的爱是大爱，是平等的包容，而且是来帮助一切众生的所以重点呢不是在爱你喜欢哪一个人，而是希望把你这个爱这一个人的心量扩大到平等爱一切人，这才是我们今天提倡这个大爱的真正的用意也是这些圣贤这个我们看到这些宗教创始人他们真正的用意，也就是我们师父今天早上所说的他说上帝爱世人，神爱世人。你看这个上帝的爱神的爱是慈悲，这个慈悲真的就是平等的爱那我们只是去爱某一个人，爱某一个团体，那个都是小爱。希望我们能够扩充我们的心量到真正平等的大爱，爱护一切众生。谢谢。
Another question over here. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, do this one first. Sorry.
A reflection on a reflection. It seems like religion is too concerned about pubic morality and not about public morality. I want to reflect, and I want a reflection on a reflection, please. I'm one of the new Australians. Big Iron Bob was Prime Minister when I came, Bob Menzies. And I remember in the elections that came, there were two things that Australians talked about. Fair go was one of them, and mateship. Now that said, we're all in it together, and we should be just to each other. And as I remember, unemployment was about 0.25% then. Now, at this last election, I hear the phrases efficiency, competition. You know, the ultimate competition is called war, isn't it? And of course, the bottom line, making profits. What is happening to our society, and has the church gotten so tangled up on private morality that we really haven't challenged society and the religions?
其实我们师父净空老和尚也常常告诉我们，一个社会的安定、和谐、幸福、美满、快乐，绝对不是用竞争而成就的。所以这种所谓的竞争的思考，其实这是错误的，因为竞争的结果，接下来就是斗争，就是刚刚呢又讲了，斗争再严重就是战争了。所以应该是我们大家呢是和睦相处，互相的平等的来对待互相的照顾就好像我们在澳洲有一首歌，这首歌的内容大家都知道I am Australia 我是澳洲人。这里面讲你是澳洲人，我也是澳洲人，我们大家都澳洲人。你看呢？如果说大家都是平等，都是澳洲人，不分种族。不分肤色不分宗教，大家平等的这样对待，真的落实了这一首歌的教义。这个国家，我想它就是全世界我们讲和平或者和谐的最 能代表的一个模范的国家啊。所以其实呢，我们不管在做什么事情，对待人，其实就要讲从心意里面。很多事情啊，我们看都是在外表上一定会有冲突，一定有不平等。但是这些呢，我们不要在这上面呢去计较啊。最重要是用真心去关怀大众。在佛经里面有一个故事，这个故事呢就是所谓六祖坛经。这个六祖呢是一个不认识字的人，但是他却是在历史上最受尊敬的，因为他得到了一个我们讲就是悟的这个真正的悟道了解宇宙真相的开悟的。那么他呢开悟以后，他虽然不认识字，可是你问他什么，他什么都懂。所有经典的事情、经典的内容全部都知道所以重点是在他用真心，他真心呢现前的时候，他什么都通。那么他呢有一次他不是出家人，结果有一次去听一个法师在讲经这个法师在讲经的时候，那么在最后面有两个出家人在争执，就是呢有一根旗杆，这个旗杆呢有一面旗子有一个法师说呢，这个旗子呢被那个风吹了它飘动，所以这是风在动另外一个法师说不是风在动，是旗子在动所以两个人争执不下，一个是风在动，一个说旗子在动在那边吵在那边争。结果这个我们这个六祖慧能大师就在旁边给他们点一下，说仁者很尊敬的对待他们，说不是风动，也不是旗子在动而是你们的心在动。所以我们要知道，很多问题我们从心来看，问题就很容易解决。如果只是看表面，问题很难解决。所以我们现在用真心、用平等心、用真诚心来看待一切我们今天的所有的一些矛盾，通通可以化解。这是我提出来的一些建议，谢谢。
Okay, I think we've got another question up here.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Earlier, Dr. Frank mentioned that peace only starts when the fear has stopped. And the world currently, I don't think anyone would disagree, is run on fear. And in fact, to be successful, you need to fit in with the fear. If you fit in with love, often you're not successful in the standard way of success in any case. And he also mentioned the only answer to that is love. As the Lady Uniting Minister said, peace and love are difficult to put into practice on a daily basis. I actually noticed a few people zoning out and nodding off, in fact, when Dr. Frank was speaking about peace and love, which I've noticed on several occasions, because we sort of want to avoid both, because either one challenges the other. However, as our Sufi brother said, we can't change other people. It's very difficult. We can just only change ourselves. However, I put it to you that changing ourselves automatically changes our experiences with and of others around us. And would add, I'm also not a believer that Jesus is our saviour. I feel he came here to actually let us know how to change ourselves, and that is to receive love from our Creator. So really what the point I'd like to put to you is, and see what your response is, that if we do concentrate on changing others, or changing ourselves, we can change many, many others around us, as was proven by prophets, and particularly Jesus.
We'd like to start the ball rolling.
I'm sorry, I missed parts of that. My hearing is not the best, and I think the.
Did you hear the bottom line of the question was at the end? Sorry.
I agree with. I think that if we can change ourselves and become a more loving person, then we can certainly generate more love in other people. I think you're absolutely dead right.
Another Persian poem says, من اگر برخیزم تو اگر برخیزی همه برمیخیزن. If I stand up, if you stand up, everybody will stand up. If I start from myself, and you start from yourself, and you start from yourself, then a mountain of walnuts is made from one small walnut. You can't demolish a mountain, but you can take grain after the grain. You can't expect others to change. We are individuals. We are born individual, we live individual, we die individual. Be good, be love. And that, believe me, solves the problem. Thank you.
Yeah. 其实就是刚刚讲我们心可以决定一切，好坏是我们的心来决定的，就是外面没有好坏善恶，是你的心来决定。那么这个在我们过去有一个故事，这个故事呢是在韩国的故事。这个韩国有一个叫元晓大师那么他跟另外一个法师，他们在中国唐朝的时代，他们想要到唐朝去游学，去学习佛法。结果他们走路从韩国走到唐朝的路中，他们晚上露宿在一个很破的庙那么已经半夜了很晚觉得很口渴他们就到外面这个元晓大师就到外面去找水喝找到一个水池那么舀了那个水回到庙里面那喝的那个水很甘甜因为走路走很久很累，喝了这个水很甘很甜他说怎么这么好喝的水从来没喝过这么甜的水结果后来休息一晚，第二天早上他们要出发了，再想去呢那个水池再带一些水在路上，结果到了水池的那个地方一看呢，他们吓了一跳为什么呢？水池里面呢是一具骷髅这个还有这个尸体腐烂的尸体长蛆长虫那么这个另外一个人跟他讲说，你昨天来舀的这个找的水就是这个水吗？他说是我昨天就拿这个水当场他们拿那个这个马上吐出来结果呢他就当场他就悟到了，他说昨天晚上没有看到这个尸体，结果这个水喝起来很甜很好喝，今天看到那个尸体还长蛆长虫你看呢这个心里面很恶心马上吐出来。什么？这个是我们看到以后改变的。其实我们如果一直认为这个水是好喝的，它就是好喝，所以是我们的心自己呢我们分别执着而变现的。所以后来他已经了解这个道理，一切都是心来决定，心造，所以他就不去唐朝去学了，就回韩国去了他已经明白这个道理了，一切都是心所造的。所以呢，这个和平是我们从真心，我们每一个人的心发出这种善的念头，去关怀去帮助，平等的包容一切，这个和平真的会到来一切为心造谢谢，阿弥陀佛。
So perhaps the more loving we become, the more individual we become.
Yeah. There's another question up the back.
This is not so much a question as a comment. It's been a real privilege to hear this afternoon about love, the overpowering emotion and feeling that we all can have. But there were a couple of things, particularly about homosexuality and a couple of other things, that I find the most, what shall I say, telling sentence in the Bible is, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." And I think if we, ingest that, then that will help us be a little bit more loving to everybody. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Over here? Here? Yeah?
Yeah, my question is that people who are quite often left-handed quite often see the bigger picture of things, where the right brain, where people who are like left-handed people are actually use the right side of the brain, so they see everything as a whole, where right-handed people are actually left brain, where they only see half a picture of everything. So, and by using, and so, like in Buddhism, if you find in all the ancient cultures, and even in Buddhism, that they all write from right to left. And all ancient cultures, from the beginning of time, all write the ancient way. And I've noticed even the Chinese do it that way. So they're all using their right brain, where people who are right the other way, like we do in our English language, actually I believe we write backwards, not forwards. And so we're not seeing the bigger picture thing. So I believe in what you're saying. So being in the left-handed thing, because I'm very much left-handed, so I see everything as a whole picture, not as half a picture like 90% of people do. So, and so I'm just saying that we should, like to say, for people who are here, I'm just saying is in their culture, how do they use like to say, using the different levels of their culture, using the left and right brain, because some of the most artistic people, the magicians and the most smartest people in the world are actually the left-handed people, not right-handed people. That's sorry to offend all the right-handed people, but I'm there to speak the truth, not there to be, truth has to be spoken. I'm not there, and so, but I'm just saying that for the people who are right-handed. I'm sorry to offend the right-handed people.
No, I'm just thinking right now, I blame my grade 1 teacher.
That's all right.
Probably a lot of other people here too, blaming their poor old grade 1 teacher.
Oh yeah, just saying.
Yeah, they have now. Yeah.
Just saying that, learning how to use in the cultures of all of people and whatever their beliefs are, so in their cultures. So so I'm just asking about that.
Thank you, that's great. We've got time maybe only for a couple more. Over here, here, sorry. And we'll probably finish up at 3:30, everybody, so it's been a very big day. Great day, but it has been a big day.
Yes, I was very interested listening to our speakers, and I noticed that all of them were giving us two messages. I don't know whether they intended to do it, but they were giving us a dual message, and I think it's very important that they did, because on the one hand they were telling us about the importance of love, but on the other hand all of them were also telling us to do something. Now, very often we're told, oh, look, you should love everybody, you should make everybody your friend, but it strikes me that if you just stop there, it's a bit like saying, you know, here are thirsty people, give them some water, but you don't have any containers to put the water in. You know, and the action part of the message that we heard from our speakers is the way that you bring the love to people, because if you don't give people personal safety, for example, if you don't give them a country that has laws that will guarantee their freedom from violence and so on, then they have no inner resources with which to develop that love. You know, so I see that these two parts of every religion are absolutely critical, that you can't develop that love without the practice, you know, without the right actions, as it says in the Buddhist religion, and, you know, as indeed in every religion. So I was very interested in that aspect of the talks we've heard today.
So you're perhaps interested in some practical ideas or ways that people can apply the principles? Yeah? Yes.
I'm not asking a fixed question of anyone. I'm just expressing my appreciation for the dual.
You'd like to comment?
Right.
I would take issue with what you've just said. I believe that I said, be kind to people. Be kind to people every day. Do it all day and do it every day. Now, do you regard that as being inaction?
That is action, yes.
Well, that's what I said, but you're implying what you just said, that we didn't talk about the action. As I heard it, maybe I misheard you.
I'm saying that I appreciated your speech because of what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm complimenting all three speakers because they gave the dual message of action combined with love.
Oh, thank you. My comment was unwrong. Thank you.
我觉得刚刚有谈到一个古诗一个比喻哈，就是说这个爱最重要就是心量要错开啊。那么就好像刚刚讲一个比喻，就是说有一滴水，这一滴水要如何让它不会干掉？用什么方法才不会干掉？啊，这一滴水就像我们自己的一个小爱。 那我要让它怎么不会干掉呢？你要发挥大爱，就是心量放大，把它放到海里面，它就不会干掉。就是呢，要融入啊，我们每一个人啊，大家呢都融入了这个大爱，就不会干掉了啊。换句话说，就是我们都要考虑到别人，想到别人啊。那像我的老师啊，净空老和尚啊，你看他的想法，他心心念念，他所做的。 他就会想到别人啊，那为什么会这样呢？其实就是他的心量，他想的是跟他的心量一样大。他做什么事情啊，他先考虑别人，他不会是先考虑自己啊。所以呢，这个事情如果伤害到别人啊，我们就不能做。我们是以考虑大众、考虑整个大体啊，这样才能够去做这件事情。这个就是我们所谓的平等、大公无私。 就不是自私自利，这才是真正的大爱，是我们所提倡的。谢谢。
And I think we have time for one more question over here. Well, yep.
Thank you. I also wanted to thank all the speakers very much. And may I also just offer a comment? We have been speaking about love and not mentioning tolerance or acceptance, But first of all, I think to me, there are degrees. To me, somebody who tolerates, of course, I myself, I despise the word tolerance, and I have always said it. But listening to all the esteemed speakers, I thought, well, wait a minute, which one is better for me, to hate someone or to at least tolerate the person? So to me, as Dr. Frank said, there are degrees. We get to the ultimate beauty of loving everybody, and I think this is the ultimate goal of every religion. However, friends, I would like to suggest that love is not something like utopian words. When we say love, His Holiness Christ said, when somebody slaps you, you turn the other cheek. But nowadays, we know that this is not possible. For example, somebody comes and shoots a lot of people, where individually, in my heart, I should forgive and try to even love that person. But the law of the society should take care of the aggressor, and this is another manifestation of love. So love, when we talk about love, is on the individual level. As an individual, I should love and forgive, but when it comes to humanity and to the society, the aggressor should be taken care of. So love is a very broad word. Yes, we love everybody, but we need organization. We need an organization to take care of the aggressors. Love will be spread if justice is spread. Love cannot be something that, well, I love, but then there are people who are suffering, there are people who are under pressure, there are people. So to me, love and justice should work together. And I just wanted also to suggest, I'm wondering if the esteemed speakers are going to start from themselves to get to know all the religions and understand what is the content and the major principles of all the religions, and try to understand and love everybody, which I do believe they probably do already. What I'm trying to say is easy to keep saying, let's love, let's love, let's love. And yes, this is the ultimate goal, but it is a little bit deeper than that. It's not a flower power. We need also organizations and principles to be able to spread love. And that goes beyond individual power and individual control. I'm sorry if I'm talking a little bit, jumping from one to another, because I'm aware of time, but maybe on another occasion we can talk a little bit further about that. Thank you.
No, apart from, just a passing remark. You know what I feel? That we are all talking to each other, all are converted people. Everybody believes here today, believes in peace, love, tolerance. The ones who create the most problem, the rabid preachers, the violent preachers, they will never attend meetings like this. And the only way we can get forward is to somehow get them to attend such meetings and answer questions from people like you and me. Thank you.
You know, again me. Have you ever seen a rose? Maybe, good. It has got roots, it has got stem with thorns that you go through the flower. It has scent, it has color, it has softness, it has beauty. Does it hold its scent from you, from me because I'm ugly, and you because you are beautiful? The donkey goes there and eats it, but still the scent is there. Be a rose in your society. We always say If we accept others, who am I to accept or not to accept? Who am I? I'm not the center. The circle has only one center, and that is the darling of the darlings. We are all dots on the circumference. We are all equal. What is acceptable? Love each other. Be a rose. Please, I beg you, go and buy a rose. Go and get a rose and look at that. Look at the petals, how beautiful they are. Look at how beautiful they are painted. And it lets you look at it and enjoy it. Be a rose in your life. Don't wait others be there. Be a rose. Be one of those beautiful flowers that in Persian we call them forget-me-not.
That's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Thank you. And thank you to all our speakers, Dr. Mukti Sidhu, Salah Mozafari Falati, Dr. Frank Heppel, and Venerable Wu Shen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Would you put your hands together for them? And that concludes the final session for today. Thank you all very much for coming and for being such good guests and for asking such excellent questions. I think the song that's going to be going through my head as I leave is the Beatles' All You Need Is Love, even though that's a little bit hippie, but it's a good one. I've been thinking about that actually, sitting here, and that's the tune that's stuck in my head. So we look forward to seeing many of you tomorrow morning at 8:30. And in the meantime, have a lovely evening. Thank you for all those that drove all the way up here from Brizzy. That's great to have you here. It's been really wonderful. Thank you.